Hello, sports fan. This is Steven here with Sports Choice Plus. I'm bringing you a very special breakdown. I'm going to be covering two teams that are benefiting from off-season moves. Before we get right into that, I want to make sure that you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can get all the updates and all the breakdowns. Without further ado, let's get right into it. Looking at the off-season, it's been a lot of teams, a lot of players, a lot of transitions, a lot of players drafted, a lot of players essentially signed in free agency. But these are going to be the top two teams, essentially one on the AFC side, one on the NFC side. And I feel like these two teams have made big enough moves to where it could possibly make them playoff teams or playoff contenders. The first team I'm going to be looking at, and it's not tough to see what they've done, it's the Atlanta Falcons. And I think that Drake London is going to be the benefactor of a lot of this stuff. And I think that because Kirk Cousins has come to the Atlanta Falcons, ignore the Penix stuff, but you got to think. The Atlanta Falcons essentially have a quarterback now. It may not be playoff quarterback, it may not be deep Super Bowl run, but the team right here is best suited to make the playoffs is the Atlanta Falcons. You look at Drake London, you look at his ability to get separation, not being the fastest guy, but being a physical guy, being a guy that can move the chains. Think about this. With mediocre play, Drake London was able to put up a 2-year run where he set records for catches and yards in a Falcons uniform. Think about that. Now, fast forward, you have Kirk Cousins not only leading him, essentially Kyle Pitts is going to do better. You're going to have to respect the box with Bijan Robinson, and you got to think now you have another element with Drake London. And I think that the over-the-top play, you're going to have a lot of different benefits. But I think that when it's all said and done, there's going to be a big play target, and that's going to be a lot of the Atlanta Falcons offensive players. And I think that from the standpoint of just what this team needed, they got it, a quarterback. And no matter if this quarterback was going to take them and ascend them, I think this is a 4 or 5 game winner difference between this year and last year to where they can make the playoffs and also win the NFC South. It's big because this team hasn't had consistent success in a row in a couple of years. So you're thinking about the consistency of the quarterback, the consistency of what goes on the offense, and also the defensive side. They've had a pretty good offseason as far as getting the biggest free agent talent that was on the market and then having a pretty solid draft after the drafting of Michael Penix and company. And then we go and fast forward to the number one team. This team has not only made trades, you're thinking about what they've been able to do as far as signing guys, you're thinking about what they did as far as having an amazing draft. That is the Tennessee Titans. And I think that Will Levis is going to be the benefactor of this. When you think about this, L'Jarius Sneed was traded from the Chiefs to the Titans cornerback position. That's a lockdown corner. That's a guy that they already know what they're going to do. They have a couple of guys that they've added defensively that are going to improve and tweak this Titans defense. You got to think, the guy that helped Joe Burrow become the quarterback that he is now, Brian Callahan, is now your head coach. He's your guy that's overseeing the offense and essentially the head coaching position, and he's going to have his hand in that quarterback room where you have a one Calvin Ridley, you got Trey Burks, you got DeAndre Hopkins. You have a couple of different threats wide receiver-wise. And let's not forget, they did get Tony Pollard in free agency, who's a speedster who can still give it up and go. You're thinking about the center and Lloyd Cushenberry, and the Titans are a dangerous team. They're a very dangerous team, and I tell people now, get in on the Titans while you can, because not only is the Titans team dangerous, but this team has a lot of weapons in different places. It's not just running back. It's just not just wide receiver. You thought that they were going to lose something with Derrick Henry. I think they've improved, because not only have they gone from a one-stop shop pony where you're just running the ball 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but they've improved significantly at the corners, at the wide receiver position, at the running back position. They've restocked full of talent. And Will Levis now has more wide receivers to throw to. He has more targets. And I feel like this offensive scheme is going to take this to the next level for him. That's why I feel like it's pretty big. And these are your top two teams that have benefited literally from free agency to offseason. I think both these teams are possibly going to either win a division or make the playoffs. So all you NFL fans, get in the comment section below. Let me know if I missed something. Let me know your two teams that benefited, one on the AFC, one on the NFC side. And we'll, see you on the very next video.